The first Descendant just got some brand new developer updates. We also got some brand new information surrounding launch, as well as some of those frequently most asked questions, including all the content we're going to see at launch, as well as some new things there. Additionally, we also have information on the launch time, as well as a whole bunch more. What's up, world? It's Utopia back in with another video. Today we're checking out all things The First Descendant. Now, first up, we do have that information around the actual launch time for the game. So this was actually found on the game and legal info page. We're down on the bottom here, it does say the official launch will go live Tuesday, July 2nd. But the big detail here is that it will go live July 2nd at 0 PDT, which is obviously using the 24-hour clock. So that does put us at midnight for PST specifically, where CST will be at 2 AM, EST will be at 3 AM. I'll include a time conversion down below if you do need to convert any other times. However, it does seem like there's going to be a global launch and release there, where the servers will go live for all platforms, including PlayStation, Xbox, and PC at the exact same time. Hopefully we do get more of an established infograph here in the coming weeks, with a general notion of the release times as well as what they're launching on each platform. We also do have this question going around about the pre-download or preloading, which as of right now we actually don't have any information on pre-downloading or preloading for any platform. So it's best to assume more than likely you will have to download the full game at that midnight time for PST. We'll have to wait and see on everything there with that. Again, if there is any new information around that, I will cover that in the coming weeks. We've also had the question here, will cross-platform or cross-play be available at launch? Now, as of right now, there is full cross-play and even cross-progression between PS5, Xbox, and PC. This is due in part to making a Nexon account which will allow that cross-progression system to actually work, as well as the cross-play with all the platforms. Now, it is also to note that the First Descendant will be available on all platforms, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X, as well as, of course, PC and Steam. So the older generation consoles will still be able to play this game. It is, of course, fully free to play, so there isn't any buy-in purchase. However, there are a few monetization details that we will go over in a bit. Now, someone did say here that it is gone currently from the Xbox Store, which some do wonder if it's going to be replaced by a Founders Pack. Typically with these free-to-play launches, they do offer a Founders Pack for the monetization stuff. Now, apparently it's also gone on the PlayStation Store as well. It is, of course, still on Steam, and we don't have any more details on a Founders Pack there. Neither for these other platforms, so we still have to wait and see on that. However, if you did wishlist the game on the PS app or even Xbox, it should still be in there. However, if you do try to search this game up currently, it does look like it's currently gone. Another thing to note about the wishlist stuff is that actually with Steam, it is currently in the top 5. It's been like that for a little over a week now. To note, it's also right next to Once Human, which does come out about a week after the First Descendant. Gonna do my best there to cover both games. However, 2 MMOs at once is quite the struggle there. Surprised these are kind of launching back to back like that, but it does note here that the First Descendant is above Once Human currently, so that's good to hear on that end at least. Now, going over some of the details with launch itself. Currently, as of beta, there are 16 different dungeons in the game. So far, we've only seen the normal gameplay of these dungeons so far, and we have yet to see the hard mode versions. So we did only get to see the normal mode versions of those. They also did showcase here some imagery for the new zones or some new areas, which could also be pertaining to the dungeons itself. So we do have some new ones here like the Agna Desert, the Echo Swamp, White Knight Gulch, Fortress, Hagios, Sterile Land, Kingston, and Vespers. So the new ones here are the first 5 that they did showcase here, which are ones that weren't really shown off during the technical and beta test. I also do want to make a disclaimer here that it might not be a total of 16 dungeons, but so far we do have the first 5 labeled, which are the Magister Lab, the Forgot Tents, the Unknown Laboratory, the Sepulchre, and the Shelter. Again, those are the first 5. Most of those I do believe were showcased during the closed beta test. I do believe we will get close to 16 different dungeons, however, it could be a little bit less. But that is the rumor going around right now, that we're close to about 14, 15 to possibly 16 different dungeons, which will be connected to those 8 different field areas. 6 of those do have 5 sub-areas. Kingston has 3 and Swamp has 4. There might be some extra ones there that aren't potentially connected to the story. However, we'll have to wait and see on all that stuff, and there probably will be some secret ones eventually down the line. Moving on though, if you are worried about the launch system requirements, we do have those as well. Where for PC, currently you will need either an i5-3570 or an AMD FX 8350. These are pretty low-end CPUs, that is for the minimum specs though. For the recommended side of things, you'll need an i7-7700K or an AMD 5-2600X. The game did run pretty well for me in the closed beta test, so this doesn't require too much hardware. For the graphics card, on the minimum requirements, they want a 1050 Ti or an RX 570. Currently, they do not have an Intel card listed. Hopefully, they do have that updated for you guys eventually. And then on the recommended side of things, currently it is an RTX 2060 with a 5600 XT being the AMD equivalent. For RAM there, at minimum, we do have 8GB of RAM, and the recommended is 16GB. It looks like for storage, you'll need a total of 50GB or more for free space. Again, that doesn't mean the game will be more than 50GB. Sometimes they just use that for free space for the game, which could pertain to unpacking as well as different updates. They actually also have an infograph for the consoles, which do display the different modes here. Now, everything but the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One and Xbox One S will get the Fidelity mode. All of them do, of course, have Performance mode, with the last two here being the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 getting that 125Hz refresh rate for the HFR Performance mode, so that should support up to 120 FPS. So that is pretty cool for you next-gen console players, getting that 120 FPS mode there. Again, the game ran very smoothly for me back in the closed beta test, so with some more performance updates, I do imagine it will run even better there. Going back to some screenshots, the Twitter account did launch some of these new screenshots from the actual trailer. Now this was from the SGF 2024 trailer, where they showed off some new screenshots for Freyna. We also have one here for Eugene, and then the rest here being for those world missions. The left two does seem to be featuring those new areas, where I do believe the right two on this side for the world missions were showcased, or at least the gameplay was showcased during the closed beta test. Now, as some last minute mentionables here, I do want to go over some of the monetization stuff. We've had a lot of questions there with that, whether how much the characters will cost, as well as the systems that were shown off in closed beta. Now, currently there was a system in closed beta that only allowed you to randomly roll for colors when you were color coding or dyeing your characters. They did mention that this system is going to be removed, so no longer will you need to randomly roll for colors. You'll be able to dye your character whatever color you'd like, or at least seemingly so. This might cost additional monetization currency there. However, you won't need to randomly roll for that skin color or the color to change your character. Now, there's also been some cost about the different characters and how much they will cost in general. If it is anything like Warframe, it will be between $10 to $20 per character. Again, this is pretty standard in the industry for monetization systems, especially surrounding character unlocks and being able to purchase them just outright. Instead of having to farm the materials and mats for them, of course, you can just purchase them outright, which of course you have to purchase all the different equipment in order to make the character. There is a system in place there. We'll have to see how it works on launch, as well as if we do end up getting that Founders Kit or Founders Pack. What that will contain exactly, we don't know currently. If there are any updates there, including the pre-download, I will be sure to cover that here. However, if you enjoyed today's video, I'd like to subscribe, and until the next one. Deuces.